I'm David Harvey from Sussex EVs. I've had the very good fortune to bump into Gary Comerford, famous for his EV Musings podcast. So, Gary, what have you seen of interest here?
Well, David, what I particularly like about events like this is the huge range of vehicles. You've got the standards, you've got the Leafs, you've got the Teslas, came down in a Tesla myself, but there's a whole range of the new BYD models. There's the big yellow bus, which is fun, and also the big Volta truck. Interested to see what sort of efficiency that thing's getting. And of course, thank you, well done. We are right next to the London Electric Vehicle Company, so we're chatting with the guys there about the taxis. So they tend to use the engine to come in from wherever they live outside London, run all day on the electric, and then back home. And my personal favourite at the moment, the Microlino, the little bubble car with the front opening. I did a test drive in one of those a couple of days ago, and it's fantastic.
Certainly gets a lot of attention just purely on appearance. I'm particularly impressed with it because it seems to be just the right kind of car that we need in cities.
Test drove one at the Excel a couple of days ago. It really catches people's attention, and it's a lot of fun to drive. The motor you can actually hear really, really loudly, so it actually makes you feel as if you're driving faster than you actually are. It's a little bit like a Formula E car, you know, there's the same kind of noise from it, so a lot of fun. You would think because it's narrow and tall that it would be a little bit wavy. Didn't get that impression at all. Not particularly good over speed bumps, but then again, it doesn't have huge ground clearance, so there's no reason why it should be.
It's short wheelbase, so that probably wouldn't help.
Indeed.
The weight will be quite low, but I wonder if it might be a bit prone to side winds. I don't know. Headwinds, side winds would be a problem for it.
Well, the way to find that out, have a chat with the guy who's just come down from London in one, and he'll give you chapter and verse. Any changes of car for you on the horizon? I've got another year to go on my lease, so I'm at that point now where I'm thinking, wonder what to go for. And I'm probably going to buy second-hand this time rather than lease. The price has now dropped down to a point where you can look at it without kind of going, oh my goodness. And there's such a huge range out there. I wouldn't be adverse to a Tesla. I did a bit of a test drive in the Ioniq 5N recently. Fantastic vehicle. So if there's one of those second-hand in 12 months' time that hasn't ended up in a ditch because nobody can handle the power, that should be quite fun. Quite
expensive, I guess, the 5N, is it? I can't remember the retail price on...
I think we're up around 70, 80,000 for the 5N because it's got the extra 600 horsepower boost on it. I test drove it thinking, it's got the fake gears, it's got the fake noise, it's going to be a gimmick. And after about 10 minutes, I'm thinking if I could sell all my furniture and live off baked beans, I could probably afford one. So most fun I've ever had in an electric vehicle. And they're going to sell like hotcakes to the right market, and 2/3 of them are going to end up in a ditch because there's just so much power underneath it.
And take a lot of sales off the Model 3, I guess. The Performance Model 3?
Of course, the selling point is the petrol heads who wouldn't buy a Tesla because they can't smell the petrol. Once they find out how the gears work, and once they find out how the noise works, they will go for that over the Tesla because it gives them more of the internal combustion engine feel.
So for Sussex EV viewers that will be watching our YouTube channel, What kind of advice would you offer them on buying a used EV, which are good value, as you've mentioned?
The way I'm planning on doing it is I'm going to go to my good friend Jonathan Porterfield from ecocars.net. I'm going to give him a maximum price and a range of cars, and he's going to sort that out at auction, and I'm going to end up paying him the fixed price that he charges, and hopefully I'll come away with a really good bargain.
Do you think you might postpone your purchase long enough to buy a used Chinese EV? Do you think there might be a possibility of that?
I wouldn't rule it out. I've test driven a couple of the BYDs, and Polestar, obviously, which is Geely, which is Chinese. Polestar, lovely vehicle. Drove the BYD Seal as well. My review on that is it's good. It's not great. There's a couple of little niggles on it that I don't like, mostly software related. So I'm assuming that by the time I come around to buying one of those, if I buy one, the software niggles will have been updated through an over-the-air update.
What about a Fisker Ocean? Bit risky for you?
Well, ironically, I was in conversation with Fisker about taking one of their Oceans for this particular London-Brighton, actually all the way down to Geneva. And then they suddenly went radio silent for some reason, and now we know why.
Gary Comerford from EV Musings, thanks very much for your time. Any final words for our Sussex EV YouTube viewers?
Well, I was just going to say, we need more EVs on the road. If you have people that you know who are on the fence, get them out in your car, get them driving. The best way to get people into an EV, to physically get them into an EV and let them drive. That's the only way to do it.
We greatly appreciate the time we spent with Gary, and please join us again next time when we talk to Ben McDonald, who walks us around the Microlino. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all again soon in the next episode.
And cut.